Hey there, everybody. It's Mark Yagi. Welcome back to another weekly market pulse. Today is the 26th of June. Let's get at it because we are in a yellow market. A lot of things are changing. Um, One of those things is this market sentiment, right? And I'll show you in a second. Why don't I just jump right into it? Let me share what the heck I'm talking about here. Let's go right here. This is the market pulse from last week, the timing indicator from last week. We have a timing indicator called the Genius Market Timing Indicator. I worked on it for a number of years. It's from a number of sources. And basically, it's saying we're in a yellow market last week. Well, that's kind of cool. Yellow basically means just put your foot off the accelerator, but you don't need to slam on the brakes. And that was last week. Now, here's what we have this week. Sorry, that was last week. Here's what we have this week. We still have a yellow market. The only difference now is that we went green this week just for a couple of days. And now you're starting to see a few of these yellow markets start to flash in there. It goes from yellow to green to red. And this is a period of time that's called the head fake period, where you can't really get a feel for who's in charge. And so that's why it's yellow. It's basically like, look, don't be buying stuff. You don't need to short stuff. You can get ready on one side or the other. But I always tell my students, this is the time to weed the garden, right? This is the time to take some of the lousy weeds out of the garden. Maybe you can, look at fortifying the flowers, and really just trying to keep a good quality portfolio rather than a portfolio that's just full of junk, right? And we don't buy it thinking it's going to become junk, but sometimes, things turn the other way, right? And so we have to kind of notice that. All right, let's go through and talk about what we're looking at here. And this is the NASDAQ. So you can see the NASDAQ had a really nice, healthy bounce about a month ago off the 50-day moving average. Went up, but it couldn't make a new high. That's a problem. When a major index cannot make a new high, or when a stock can't make a new high, that's showing some rotation out of that, showing a little bit of weakness. So it bounced up and then we came down again. But now instead of bouncing off the 50-day moving average, we are below it. And I don't know if you see this, but look at all the volume that's leading up to this gap down and then below the 50 and all. Like, this is not insignificant selling. This is a major thing that you need to pay attention to. There's a pattern that I call the dreaded H. It's like a little long thing there and then an upside down U. And we're right here at that pivotal point where it was a couple weeks ago, 24,980, I guess it was. And it's right there. What does that mean? That means that if it can't hold that level, it's got to go down here and find another level to hold. And I think that's probably going to be this gap, okay, 24,000 or the 200-day moving average. So right now, these moving averages are still in the upward direction, but in order for them to move down, you have to have stocks that move down or pricing action that moves down. And that's what we've got going on in the NASDAQ. There's trouble in technology, folks. And when there's trouble in technology, it leads, obviously, the NASDAQ being mostly technology, it's going to lead the market down. And then that leads the S&P 500, and that leads the Dow down. And all these things kind of chase each other. It's like, these little worms that are chasing each other around the little game, whatever it is. All right. S&P 500 doesn't look that much better, but it is better. It's a one-day close below the 50. And today it's trying to make it back up and close above the 50. I don't think it's going to get there. It's a Friday. It's tough to get there on a Friday. And it opened down and it's been battling back today. We'll see what happens, but it needs to hold the 50 to show any kind of strength. There's a mini dreaded H going on here as well, down to 72337, and we'll see if it can hold that level. That's a big level to hold. Otherwise, it wants to come down and fill this gap here or this little tiny gap here. So, we could be at the beginning of a downtrend right now, and you got to pay attention, guys, because we're not making new highs anymore. We are now starting to test areas that are that are more support than resistance. Okay. New York Stock Exchange composite had an all-time high a couple of weeks ago, almost an all-time high yesterday with that big Micron news or whatever else was moving it up. But now you're seeing still fairly strong. It's not the end of the world with the New York Stock Exchange composite. It's pretty strong. But watch that NASDAQ. I think that NASDAQ might be important. And by the way, yesterday, Apple, it was a big part of why that NASDAQ sold off. They announced a big increase in pricing. All right, New York Stock Exchange composite. I talked about Dow. I talked about it. Okay, the volatility, right. All right, so volatility is up. When it goes above the 50-day moving average, that big red line, that's of concern. So we've been increasing our volatility index now, which means good news for us option sellers. We get more juice, but it also means there's more panic in the market. Things sell off quicker. When they sell off bigger, especially if this volatility starts to go way up. So be careful on that. Apple yesterday gapped down on volume below the 50-day moving average. Whenever I say gap down on volume below the 50-day moving average, that's bad stuff. Okay. Look at this dreaded H pattern. Boom, down to this upside down U and a gap down below the support there at 287. Of course, it's bouncing today because I got out of my position because it hit a stop loss, and I recommend you have stop losses and circuit breakers in all your trades. But this thing is going down, I think, to look, it hit this level right there yesterday, and I think it wants to go back and retest that. So there might be another little dreaded H there. But to me, this looks like it's going down to a support level, probably like the 200-day moving average. So we'll see. But for me, I wasn't going to wait around for this. I wish I would, but I didn't want to see another drop of $5 today. The market's up, at least at the time I was doing this printout. And, this is not a good looking set of data here at all. So be careful if you're an Apple. They are increased. Now, let me tell you the good stuff about the fundamentals of Apple. So Apple has kind of stumbled into the AI trade. They're bumbling and stumbling. They had the opportunity when they bought Siri, back 14 years. AI from Google, and they're trying to get back into the game. And they happen to get lucky because they're a really good hardware company, right? They make good hardware with good chips, and their hardware is a demand. So the Mac Minis are flying off the shelves, the $500, $599 Mac Mini, the $799 flying off the shelves. The Mac Studios are flying off the shelves. They basically can't keep them in stock. And so they said, hey, we're going to raise our prices. I think that's good. I don't see why there was a big sell off. So I think over time, even though it's inflationary, it's going to hit their top line, their revenues, and their revenues are going to grow, right? Maybe their bottom line doesn't grow, but if they're raising prices, it should grow as well. So I don't think it's a bad thing for Apple. In fact, I think that's probably a good thing, a strong move, not a weak one. All right. Nvidia, I've been saying this for weeks, for the number one company in the world, market cap wise, to be trading the way it is, kind of just not showing any, luster. It's got a 62 relative strength. There's a lot of companies that are doing better than Nvidia, and it should be like the number one in AI. There's trouble here. I think there's trouble here. It ran up a lot. It ran all the way to 236, but it wasn't a really strong run up. Like there's trouble. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it might be in trouble. And I think it's going to go and hit this 200-day moving average in the next, maybe even today. We'll see. But that's telling us something, guys. If we're not listening to the signals, if we're not putting together a picture from all these information dots, we're missing out on this. And that's probably why you're watching this, because I can paint a couple of dots for you, and you can get some other dots on your own if you want. All right, SanDisk is just a juggernaut. It keeps hitting all-time highs, except today it's doing an inside day. Not the end of the world, still a high relative strength stock, but there's going to be a day where all these, hardware and chip makers and all these AI stocks are there's going to be a day of reckoning. I don't know when that is. It might be 2 years from now. It might be on Tuesday. Who knows? Well, we'll see. GE Aerospace, I have a position in this. It's on a breakout now. Look at that, 6 weeks in a row with a gap up into the trading zone, and then now it's kind of breaking out. Not breaking out on gigantic volume, but you sure love to see a lot of these blue candles here at all-time highs. That means there's no other sellers, and the stock wants to plow higher. So we'll see what happens. Bloom Energy, on the other hand, has got an outside day, kind of a engulfing handle, a bearish engulfing below the 50-day. Now we're looking at weekly charts. So if you're in Bloom, pays a lot of juice, a great company. It's made a lot of people a lot of money on the way up. But keep an eye on this candle. This is an important candle. If this candle doesn't really hold, I'd love to see it close above the 50 today, but we'll see. If it doesn't hold, 230 is in play. And then 230 on high volume means that we're, back down to this, you know, 180, 200. I know it's hard to believe, but that's what they do. Um, Not a thing wrong with this thing right now, as long as it can kind of hold around that 50-day moving average. It's testing it this week. AMD, just not a thing wrong with this. 99 relative strength rating. Just loving the fact that it keeps going up, melting up, hit an all-time high this week. Gave a little bit of that back, but a lot of strength in this sector as well. Micron, same thing. The stock, just did amazingly yesterday, and is kind of doing the same thing today, following up that gain off their earnings. IREN is an AI play. You could see that downward triangle where they broke out several weeks ago, and now they're back to testing that breakout kind of downward thing. It's got to hold that for sure. If not, it wants to go down to this $30 level, and then it's in trouble. It was kind of trying to make it up to 80, but it's having some trouble. And this is a big candle, not a high volume candle, which would make it even more convincing. But it's a big candle, and if it closes down here, and even below that line, we're in trouble. All right, Tesla. I know a lot of you are in Tesla. Like I've been saying for several weeks, there's not a lot of reasons to be in Tesla right now. Yeah, we can all say that we love Tesla long term, but nobody wants to be in a stock that's down $100 in just, or even 60 or 80 bucks in just a short period of time. So be careful on Tesla. And that means that you've got to look at SpaceX, and SpaceX is down from the 228, I think it went to. And today it was around 150 this morning. I think 158 last time I checked. All right, Tesla. There'll be a time to get Tesla. You got to love their robot story and their full self-driving story. So there's some good stuff out there, guys. But there's also some things that should give you some pause. And the sell-off in technology is not something to ignore. So please keep your eye on that. And this is the chance to weed your garden. Get rid of the weeds and put more of the watering on the flowers that you have. And maybe this, like one of my favorite traders is Jesse Livermore, and he says there's a time to what is it? There's a time to be a bull, there's a time to be a bear, and there's a time to go fishing, something like that. And this could be a yellow market that tells you, hey, look, take your poles out of the water and go fishing and have a good time. Listen, speaking of that, I think we have a short week next week with the 4th of July coming up. Big celebration going on here in the United States, so it's going to be kind of fun. But before that, I hope you have a wonderful weekend this weekend. And I always appreciate the fact that you tune in and listen to me yap for 10 minutes or so about the market. But I hope it does help you put the pieces together. And that's all I'm about, is reading a bunch of charts and showing you what I see on them. Not that I have any idea what the stocks go up or down or sideways. I do covered calls to try to stay in there. If you're interested in what we're doing, we've got a program coming up July 22nd, so it's less than a month out. It's called the Income Accelerator, how to do covered calls so that you can make a targeted income every month. If you're interested, the link is going to be below, and we have an early bird special going on that, so hope you can make that. Other than that, have a good weekend. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.